everyone. How are you all doing today? Okay, so I will be doing a few readings today. So whoever wants a reading, you can just pop a comment saying you want a reading. Then I'll write your name down and I'll try to get to as many people as possible. Morning. So if you guys are interested in a reading, you can just, okay. Depu Math wants a reading. I'm gonna put you on. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna do a reading for Dippo first. So it's best to think of something really particular, like a specific question that you want to know about a specific situation, rather than trying to get a general reading, since these are just going to be mini readings. Okay, so for Dippo, with your reading, I see you walking away from a situation that's no longer serving you. So this is something that's very toxic for your mental health, and you're going to be overcoming a situation in your life. You're going to feel more freed, more, you know, just more yourself, because I feel you haven't been feeling yourself a lot. This may also involve a lot of travel. So you might possibly be going on a vacation or traveling somewhere, and might even be moving houses, since we also have the key in the door here. And this also talks about you having everything you need to succeed. You have everything you need to make this happen. And, you know, you just have to take that leap of faith. I'm going to give you an oracle card. Affirmation for healing the heart. So yes, this toxic situation has really been giving you a lot of pain and suffering, and I see you overcoming that very successfully in your future. There is clear skies coming for you. You're going to have a very brighter horizon. So that is what I see for you. But mainly what I think you should focus on is just cutting away things that no longer serves you. That's the most important thing. Let's see. We also have Griselda. You want a general reading, you said? Okay. I hope it resonated, Dippo. So yeah, also if you guys are interested, I'm using the Lightseer's Tarot today and the Everyday Witch Oracle. So we're just going to vibe with those until I feel that we might need more cards. And then I might pull from a different deck. You don't trust mediums. Well, that's alright. You know, we all get to have our own opinions. That's alright. Okay, so I'm going to move on to Griselda. Let's see what we can get for you in general. And that's really good, Dippo. That is definitely a sign then. If it's not doing your mental health good, then just rather leave the situation. Because, you know, you guys are worth more than staying in toxic relationships. And me personally, I've been in a toxic relationship myself. And it's just the best thing would be to leave. Okay. So for Griselda, oh, I see a lot of movement in new direction, a lot of balance. I also see a lot of financial things being paved for you. So this can be you planting the seeds for your future, working really hard to what you want to accomplish. And for that, I see it's also causing you some heartache. You have some heartache going on. So this could be in regards to I'm feeling financial situations. You are feeling very hurt. I feel situations with jobs and work hasn't really worked out for you in the past. But I see that there's some balance needed here for your emotional and your physical health. You need to start taking care more of yourself and of your well-being, especially with the balance between your physical and your emotional needs. Because we tend to be too stuck in we have to eat, we have to sleep, we have to do all these daily necessary things. But we forget that our emotional state also needs love and care. And that's why we end up, just pulling the strings of our heart, trying to get by, and being so stressed out and mentally overwhelmed. And that's just because we forget to actually take care of our emotions. And what a lot of people do is they bottle up their emotions. They will bottle it up and shove it so far that the sun can't even see it anymore. And, yeah. Overall, that's just something that you can try to focus on, just to be more aware of your thoughts and be more, aware about how things are making you feel. And if it's making you feel heartache, there's different directions that you can move in. And I see whatever you choose is going to be very successful. Yes, Mela, I will definitely be giving you a reading as well. I'm going to put you on the list. Just going to finish up on this one first. And then also, Griselda, for your oracle cards, you have Give Into Passion and Meditation for Clarity. So I'm seeing meditation can really help you sort out these emotions and this imbalance within basically your mind and your physical and your emotional state. And I see you need to start taking care of things that you enjoy more. So I'm feeling, like I said, the heartache with you not really feeling the job perhaps that you're in, and or maybe you're struggling to get a job even. And I see that you need to do something that makes you happy, because at the end of the day, if you're not doing something that makes you happy, then you're just gonna be miserable eventually. You can only push yourself to do things that you don't want to do for so long. And I have personal experience with this. It's really hard because, you need to make money to survive, and I understand that whole thing. But when you take a leap of faith, the things can be so beautiful that you see on the other side. Look at the beautiful butterflies. It just talks about beauty. And I just see, you having a more playful energy. Maybe it's also revolving around a hobby that you might have, asking you to connect more with a hobby, perhaps a musical instrument, or maybe listening to music to help you with healing, or listening to music while you meditate as well. Could be very powerful for you to connect with that energy. So that is what I see for you. I hope that was insightful. I'm going to move on to Milo now. If anyone else wants a small reading, you can just pop it in the comment section and I'll put you on the list. I'll try to get to as many people as I can today. Okay, so for Milo, let's see. Okay. Yes, Marty, I will put you on. Okay, okay, so for Milo, what I got here is, your first card was the Hermit card, okay? So this talks about self-isolation. So maybe you need some time alone. Maybe you function a lot with like you need to be alone to recharge. Yeah, we hope it's good. But yeah, like you need some time to recharge, okay? So I really see that you you know, maybe you like being alone a lot. I also see that maybe, you know, other people, they kind of give you like a little bit of hassle about, you know, you being too much of a loner. And also, I feel that you may have experienced a connection with a pet that has passed on. Because there is or you have a spirit guide who's a pet that's coming through. Because I see a very close bonded relationship with a pet that's no longer in this realm. And this pet is guiding you. It's one of your spirit guides that's very clearly coming through. And it talks about loyalty. Animals are very loyal, you know, if you have a pet. And they have this different way of loving that is just amazing. And we as humans can't really comprehend love to that extent. Most human interactions, you know, there's like this give and take situation, and, you know, they're like, I love you, but with this condition, and then the list of conditions, you know? So with animals, they love us unconditionally. They don't care what we look like, they don't care if we get mad occasionally, they still love us endlessly. And I feel like this whole message here is telling you to try and get back to that, you know, because I feel that we as humans once had to have some sort of level of empathy that was that unique. So, you know, it's like embracing your inner child, just loving in the purest form. And I feel what I feel with this is like, I feel your self-love needs have been taking a toll. So I feel like you need to start loving yourself and seeing yourself through the eyes of your pet, your animals. Because you also have the High Priestess, which talks about, you know, just divine being and, you know, messages coming in from the higher divine. So I just feel that, you know, you need to embrace more of a different perspective, let's say, of loving yourself. And then you also have the King of Wands here, which is really powerful, passionate fire energy. And I feel like a Leo is relevant. Maybe you're a Leo or you know someone who's a Leo, or a Leo would play a significant role in your life at some point. But I do see a Leo playing a role in your life. I also see that you need to pay attention to red flags when you're interacting with people. Because I feel like because you need so much time alone, you might be an empath and not know it. So then you go into interactions and you take on people's emotions, and they're not even your own, but you internalize them. So I just feel like that might be relevant. Let's pull you a oracle card. I'm a Aries too. And you have fire magic again. So you have a lot of fire energy, so it makes sense because you're Aries. I really pick up on Leo energy heavily. Maybe you have Leo in your chart as well. But it's that very fire energy coming through. So with fire energy, it also tells you a lot to, you know, embrace your inner strengths. It's a literally fire equals like creation, passion. It's very pure energy, and I think if you tap into that energy a bit more, you'll surprise yourself with what you can accomplish, because I feel like you doubt yourself a lot. You also have follow your dreams, so take a leap of faith and chase after your dreams. I mean, why not? You know, what's the worst that can happen? We're all the main character in our own stories, and the worst thing that can happen is things don't work out and then you try something new. That's just how I feel. But that is what I see for you, Milo. But take the time alone that you need to recharge. Really take some time alone. If that's what you need, then do that. Okay, Cherish wants a general reading. Okay, so next up we have Marty. Just gonna take a sip of coffee. Okay, so for Marty, I see you have had a really long, heavy road filled with a lot of heavy baggage that you had to carry. And I feel like this have caused you to feel like the life around you is a bit more gray than it used to be. Sorry, if I butcher anyone's names, I apologize, I'm sorry. Sipu okay, I'm totally gonna butcher your name, I'm so sorry. Sipu Mele, I'm just gonna put you up there. I'm so sorry if I butcher your name. I'm terrible at names. For those of you who follow me on YouTube, you'll know I butcher names really bad. But anyway, I will get to your reading next. I'm sorry for that. But sorry, back to Marty. I feel that your road has been very heavy. No, I haven't skipped Cherish. Cherish is after Marty, so no, I haven't skipped them yet. I just haven't gotten to them. But yes, Marty, I feel like your road has been heavy, but your gods have lit in you a path. I feel like you walk very closely to your soul path, but it hasn't come without any stumbles. You know, there's been a lot of bumps in the road, a lot of things that really took a toll on you, on your physical body, and and also with the heavy baggage, I also feel like you romanticize life a lot, or you try to romanticize life a lot. So it's a good thing to do. It's just, Marty, what I really need you also to, I feel like you need to hear this. Your pain and difficulties are valid. I feel like a lot of people overlook the things you are going through and the things you've went through because I feel like you're such a radiant person, and you know, you're always see life on a lighter side, and then you are very kind and very nice, and then people are like, can't see past that, okay? They're stuck. It's like a veil over their head. They're stuck in that, you know, they just see you being nice, and they see you handling things very well, when I feel like internally you're just carrying all of that by yourself. There's no one that helps you carry all of that baggage because you don't want to burden other people. But sometimes we have to talk to other people. We have to let these things out. I actually talked about bottling up emotions a little bit earlier. It's not a healthy thing to do. You also have two major arcana cards. So you have Strength and you have the Hierophant. So I see you really ascending on life's journey. You have a lot more strength and resilience than you realize. All of this baggage you've been carrying, I feel it's been heavy. It's like you've been carrying all of this baggage uphill, all of these stairs, you know? But I feel like you should just take some time to sit with all of that baggage. Just feel that baggage and let it go. Thank you. Zondershed, nice glasses. Yeah, it's not fun always, but visually impaired. Okay. So, Marty, your oracle cards are Tears of Joy and Sadness. So, letting some time out to actually cry and to feel these emotions, all of this baggage. Because it's okay to feel hurt. It's okay to feel pain. It's okay to feel like life sucks, because it does sometimes. You also have Plant the Seeds. So, this talks about planting the seeds for your future. And I see you having a very bright future, because there's a lot of, if I can show you on these cards, there's a lot of sun, a lot of light at the backgrounds that's beaming through with the rays. So you have a very bright future, and things are gonna get easier, I want to say. Like, I know, like, if you're in a difficult situation, or if you've been through a lot of difficulty, hearing that, you're like, sure, I'll believe it when I see it. But I really believe you're going to have a very successful future. You also have tears of joy and sadness, so it means, when it's like the yin-yang balance of life. Where there's sadness, eventually there's going to be joy. And it sounds really cliche, I suppose, but it is something that I feel deeply for you, because I feel like you've been through a lot and you really deserve that happiness. But you also have to allow yourself to be happy and allow yourself to feel the heavy things, to let them go, and just to step into a more light energy. So just connecting with emotions. I see water energy might be very beneficial for you to heal, so like taking a bath, spending time in water. I apologize for the dog, guys. But yeah, I just see like very water energy might help you to just recuperate a bit. Just take a long relaxing bath, engage in some self-care, and I feel like that taking care of you is what's coming through mostly, because I feel you've been neglecting yourself, taking care of others. So, Marty, that is your reading. That is what I see. I don't see anything else that's standing out now. Next, we're going to... Is it Cherish or Ceres? I have no idea. Like I said earlier, I butcher names terribly. So, we're going to be doing the next one. Oh, you're very welcome. I really hope it helps a bit. And I really do apologize if you've been through a lot. It's not nice going through a lot of heavy things. Okay, so the next one... I don't know if I pronounced it right. Cheris. We're doing your reading next. Oh gosh. These two cards are popping up a lot today, I see. Okay, so you have Temperance and the Three of Swords, both of which has already made an appearance today. You guys have, a lot of you guys are going through a lot of heavy mental stuff. I can really tell. But they said like energy attracts like energy. My clients tend to be really, it's not all love and light. And that's okay, because that's what life is. There's many tarot readers out there. Since I've been through a lot of things in my life, I tend to get the people who have been through a lot of things as well. And I just want you guys to know, all of you guys who are going through difficulty, it's valid, and it's okay, and you will be alright in the end. Okay, so, Cheris, I really don't hope I'm butchering your name too badly. I'm terrible at pronouncing things. Anyway, like I said, you have Temperance, and Three of Swords, you also have the Knight of Wands. So, it talks about, again, balance between your emotional and your mental or your physical needs. So there has to be, like, a balance within these things, because if you give one more attention than the others are gonna plummet downhill. A lot of the times we get so wrapped up in the physical world that we forget to take care of our mental and emotional needs. Or we suppress them, which is worse, because we need to do things, okay? We need to go to work, we need to go to the shopping mall, and we need to buy groceries. We need to eat, sleep, all of these things. And then we forget that we are human and we need to feel emotions and we need to take care of our mental health. A lot of people are mentally not well these days because things have just gotten rather dark in the world. And it's because people are stressing themselves out, doing things they don't like doing, just in order to keep being, and they just forget to sit with those emotions and feel them and process those emotions. So that's a very important message that's coming through, because that's causing you heartache. I also feel that maybe your connections with people, in particular, has caused you a lot of heartache and strife. Especially within passionate relationships. So anything you know, friendships, might be family, might be romantic relationships, but I feel like there has been a lot of disconnect with other people. And that has also led you to feel more like this type of energy. So the best thing I suggest just to actually sit with that, process that, know that what you're feeling is valid, but don't cling on to that, okay? Feel it and let it go, because when you cling on to pain and hatred like that, you actually can become physically ill as well. If you're mentally messed up for a really long time, what happens is your nervous system will start to slowly shut the important functions down that the body deems unnecessary, okay? So when you're in a lot of stress for a really long time, your nervous system slows down. It slacks off, basically says F you, and you're gonna be a lot more ill. You're just not gonna feel great anymore. You're gonna develop things like insomnia and a lot of physical health issues. And it's not a nice thing to go through, guys. That's why it's really important, why I'm trying to get people to understand how important it is to actually feel your emotions. And it's also important to try to set boundaries, because other people aren't really understanding when you try to work on yourself. When you try to put your emotional needs first, other people are usually really reserved for that. You also have the Knight of Wands here, which talks about very fiery, passionate energy, having fun. It's a very free energy, so I feel like you've been feeling trapped for a very long time. You haven't really been able to express yourself, I feel. And that has taken a toll on you. It really has. You also have transformation and change. I felt like you had to transform and change yourself a lot to fit in or to have certain connections with people. The best advice I can give here is to stop trying to make yourself fit for someone else. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. Let it go. I mean, it's easier said than done, because sometimes you want certain connections. You want to make things work with people. But it's not just on you. Any type of relationship is a two-way street. So maybe it's time to go through a glow up again, to work on yourself, to just reconnect with your inner self, I'm feeling. You also have gratitude and thanks. So when life gets heavy, what I like telling people, it's a very, very nice philosophy when you feel like you're starting to get a bit pessimistic, okay? People are always like, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? And I mean, I personally do that a lot. But when that happens, it's important to try and ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? Because when something isn't working out, there's usually a reason for that. And those situations you have to be grateful for, because there are closing doors that's not meant for you and opening new doors that are meant for you. And also with the butterflies, it's a lot of transformative energy. Just popped out there. So yes, just try to think of things in a different perspective. What is things trying to teach you? And trust me, there's going to be lessons that's going to surprise you in life. The most important thing is to set boundaries and to find that balance between the physical, the mental, and emotional state. Don't let other people... Don't be like a chameleon who shifts yourself to fit other people's perspective. Be who you are, unapologetically, and the rest will just follow. So, Cheris, I still hope I'm not butchering your name, but that was what I see for you. I hope that resonates. The next one is Sipu Melele. I really can't pronounce words. I'm really bad at names in particular. Like I said, those of you who follow me over on YouTube, you'll know how badly I actually butcher names. So I really apologize for that. I don't know how to pronounce names. It could be the simplest name and I will just pronounce it blatantly wrong. Wow, okay, well, you have a lot of powerful cards here. You have just major arcana cards. You have the Star, the Hermit, as well as the Magician. So when that happens, major arcana cards, it talks about major life events. So with the Hermit, it talks about alone time, isolation, needing time alone. It can also talk about meditation. But in particular, it usually talks about you're walking your path alone. It's not necessarily that you're a loner, but you need alone time. And I feel like your life's path is really focused on you blazing it alone. You are the star of your own journey, the star of your own story. You're the main character. And with the star, I also see a lot of hopeful energy, like dreams being fulfilled, like that wishing upon a star type of energy. And I feel like you have a lot of powerful guides also that walks with you. But overall, I think maybe you might also be feeling this energy like you feel like a little bit alone. And that's not a bad thing. It's just trying to force, relationships and to force connections is only going to make you feel a little bit out of your energy, because on your soul's path, you were meant to walk it alone. So when you are alone, when there's no one else, don't feel like it's heavy or anything. When you learn to accept being alone, you can discover really how powerful you are. And I'm not saying that you're gonna be alone and that you're gonna like grow old alone and it's just that the main purpose that you're here for on this earth is to be done alone. Unfortunately, there's not gonna be people holding your hand while you walk on your life's path. People are gonna come and go, like seasons, but your guides will always be with you. You're never truly, completely alone. But on the physical plane, your mission revolves a lot around solitary work. I also see you needing to sort out your emotions, weigh through emotions and see which ones actually benefit you, which ones are actually meant for you. I also see meditation is a very powerful tool for you to connect, since you got the Hermit and the Magician. So I feel like meditation, or just getting yourself in a peaceful place, maybe go out in nature, find a very quiet, peaceful spot where you can be alone, not disturbed, and just go inwards. So this could be meditation, shamanic journeying, any type of hypnosis, and past life regression perhaps, anything of that nature is things that I feel you're very naturally gifted at and would tremendously benefit you if you try to connect with those things. I also feel like being outside under the stars is a very powerful tool for you, just in the night skies, particularly at nighttime. You might also be a bit of a night owl. But I just see this very powerful energy of this inner light shining through. You're a very bright person. And even when things are heavy, and when you're going through heavy things, you have this little sense of optimism, this inner bright light shining through, and you're really healing energy. You really help a lot of people. And I don't really think you do this consciously. I think you don't even really realize or notice how many people you're helping. But your energy is just like that, like I said, that main character energy that it's like that first star at the night sky that shines brighter than all the other stars. It's just like you're naturally just a very bright person, and naturally just a very more healing person. And that could also take a toll on you, because if you are like, that's the old saying that goes, like, you can't pour from an empty cup. And as cliche as it sounds, it's extremely true, because that when you have a very healing energy, you attract a lot of people with issues and traumas and pain. And you feel obligated out of your kind nature to help said people. But you also have the Oracle card Affirmation for healing the heart. And this is very powerful. Take some time to heal you. Maybe you also have experienced a loss of some sort. And you're there for other people a lot, but it's time for someone else to be there for you, to have a shoulder to cry on. So I feel like reaching out to someone you really trust could be very helpful to help heal your heart. You also have transformation and change. So I feel like through life you're going through a lot of phases, a lot of different stages, because you're unknowingly going through spiritual awakenings. You don't really know what they are, I feel, but they're symptoms usually. When you go through a spiritual awakening, it's not all love and light like people say it is. Usually you start seeing the truth of what things are. You don't see, everything seems a little bit heavier than it used to be. You can get physical health issues, headaches are very common, and also you can go through a lot of times of sadness. And it's not really easy to deal with those time periods. But spiritual awakenings it's not an easy transition. In order for you to ascend into something higher, you have to finish all the unhealed stuff that you've been suppressing. Which is why when you go through a spiritual awakening, it's like it all comes down on you at once. It's like all these heavy things just at once, just out of the blue, suddenly. And then you'll have issue after issue. And then eventually you'll get to the point where you're like the butterfly who emerged from the cocoon, and you're like, wow, this is really great. And when you reach that point, you're kind of going to forget about the cocoon part, because it's just going to be like, this was kind of worth it. I know I've been through a lot of difficulty, but look where it's gotten me. I am at a much better place now. And like I said, you are a very optimistic person. I see a lot of light energy with your aura. And I feel like you'll just successfully overcome any challenges you'll face. But don't be afraid to be alone. That's a very important message. Don't be afraid to let your light shine. It will attract some messed up people, but don't let that deter you. Just set stronger boundaries. When people take too much, say, sorry, can't anymore, and just let that be. Don't cut yourself off completely from connections with other people just because there was a few bad eggs. So that is your reading that I see for you. I think that was the last person on my list. Does anyone else want a reading? We finished the few ones that we had. So whoever else wants a reading, just pop in the comments. If I already done a reading for you and you want another one about something different, you're more than welcome to just pop a comment again there and just say that you want another reading, and we can do another one. It doesn't matter. Now I'm, however, going to pull a little collective message for everyone in this live stream. So this is for everybody. Let's see. Okay, so this one fell on the floor. That means it's an important message. Almost bent that card. Okay, so we have a lot of cards for the collective. Okay, so for our collective here, what's really interesting is this card just stands out over the rest because it just doesn't need any introduction. The Sun. Now this is the card of ultimate positivity, which is probably interesting because I think a lot of you here have a lot of heavy situations going on. So the Sun card might be just showing itself to tell you guys to not lose hope. Because trust me, I feel that a lot where I'm just like, you know, maybe I should just give up on everything because like everything is just like too much. Oh, you're very welcome. I really hope it was insightful. But like, things get too much. And there, you also have the Ten of Wands that I have for the collective here, which is about baggage. You know, everyone has baggage, okay? We walk our different journeys. I'm just going to pull a few oracle cards as well. Then we can analyze all of the message as a whole. Oh, gosh, there's a lot of cards that's making a reappearance today. Because this card for transformation and change has been coming up a bunch of times, as well as the affirmation for healing the heart. So you guys, all of you guys in this live, you guys have to start healing your hearts, guys. You have to start working on healing all of that unhealed ouchies that you have, okay? Just, it's not nice to stick with all of that. Also, you have seasonal harvest, which talks about reaping the rewards of all the effort and work you've been putting into something. And then, like I said, transformation and change, which talks about literally just transformation. So this can be different transitions in your life, and also different stages of mental health, physical health, emotional health. I also see, like, also a lot of people here have difficult choices that they're facing, that they have to make. Different things that you're busy analyzing. I see analyzing different situations, trying to make things work out. Because I feel like a lot of people here might be like, well, okay, you said we're gonna reap the rewards of our hard efforts, but that hasn't happened yet, okay? We haven't been seeing those rewards, you know, we've just been building and building and doing things, and it just hasn't been working out. But again, you have the sun as well, along with the seasonal harvest. The sun is gonna shine again. I know this period of difficulty, dry, strive, this barren energy, it's not gonna last forever. It's really not. I promise you guys that won't last forever. You also have Ace of Pentacles, as well as the Queen of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles talks about financial situations usually. It talks about how you earn your money, how you make your money. It talks about stability. And a lot of you will be more stable in the future. You're gonna feel way more fulfilled when you reap that rewards for all your effort and all your hard work. I see you guys really stepping into like that boss energy, that queen energy, realizing your worth, know what your worth is, and just embracing who you truly are and embracing what you truly want to achieve. So I think I'm just going to take a small breather and then we can dive into that a bit deeper. I'm going to pull one or two more cards for the collective. Oh, interesting. Okay. So I see a lot of you here. The energy that I'm picking up on is, you see what's happening in this card. When you focus too much on all of the stuff in your life, you can miss out on things, not even see them. Things that's really beautiful. And it happens a lot of the times where you're just focused on all this stress, all this negativity, all these issues, all these problems. Or she's just focusing on all these empty bowls, basically. She's missing out on the one she has that's filled with beautiful things. So this card really talks about trying to be grateful for what you do have and focusing more on what you do have than the things that you don't have. It's not really about reading the future, it's more about reading energy. So I'm quickly going to explain to you how it basically works. It's basically, technically yes, you can predict the future, so to speak, but it's more like a weather prediction. It can change, because what I read right now is based on the current energies of people. So if I do a future reading for someone, it'll be based on their current energies. And us as humans, we have the power to change those situations. So if you at any time hear anything you don't like, you can change that. You do have the ability to change that, to influence that. And it might not always work out exactly based on the energy that I'm picking up now. It all depends on choices that you make, different decisions that leads to an outcome. based on what you're doing in this current energy, where you're at right now, that's the energy I read. So even if I do a future prediction, it's more like a current prediction. It's more like a present prediction, since it's based off of present energy. So I don't really like calling it reading the future. I'm reading energy. So that's basically what, easiest way I can explain it is it's like a weather prediction. The weather isn't always accurate, but it can give us a little bit of a guideline to, what to expect. Yeah. So that's just all that's about. It's a common misconception. Everyone's like, psychics, mediums, they read the future, but it's not to say that we can't. It's just things work a little differently. So, also back to the collective reading here. I see like a lot of people missing out on opportunities when they're focusing too much on happy things. And also, we have this card which talks about obstacles, struggles, okay? Everyone's going through all of these difficulties, all of these obstacles in the way, and all of those obstacles are making us feel this energy of like, you know what, I know there's a few good things, but it's just been, all of this has been terrible, so, the sun's never going to shine again. But I have a surprise for you, because it is. It is going to shine again. So, all of you guys who are feeling all of this heavy, stagnant energy, I feel that things are gonna, work out, okay? For many of you. Might not be for everyone, because sometimes things just don't work out. But what I want you guys to think about when that happens is, if something doesn't work out, there's a reason for that. It's because it's meant to happen. When something doesn't work out, it's just purely because it's not meant for us right now. Yes, Milo, I will do a reading for you on that. Just gonna put your name up again so that I don't forget you. But just, guys, when the whole collective here, the most important things that's coming through is a lot of you have been worrying, especially about finances. That's understandable. A lot of you have been dealing with emotional baggage and turmoil, trauma, just really bad energies. A lot of you have been not really seeing good things lately because a lot of things have just been really dark. That's the whole recap of this energy we have here. Recap of what I want you guys to focus on is just to know that you guys are worth it, you guys are strong, you guys are resilient, and you guys can handle everything that's thrown your way. You will reap the rewards. If you keep working hard at something for a long period of time, eventually you're gonna have to get somewhere with that. So either it's gonna fall completely, or it's gonna work out and you'll be surprised. Sometimes things take a lot longer than we want them to as well. I feel also like a lot of people have this sense of impatience when it comes to difficult situations, and it's understandable. But time is actually a man-made concept. On the spiritual plane, in my experience with talking to different spirits and things, time doesn't exist. It only exists in our realm of existence right now. But a lot of people get so overwhelmed and obsessed about things like money, time, fear. Those things are all basically man-made concepts. It only exists on our plane right here. When we pass on to the afterlife, those things fall away completely. The only things you get to take with you are memories, emotions, experiences. And a lot of spirits that I work with, they regret stressing too much about money and time. And also a lot of them have been stressing about how they use time, especially like they feel like they wanted to spend more time on something, or they felt they didn't have enough time. And it's because time is not really a situation. So I'm gonna do, Milo, a quick reading on your tests, you said, or something along the lines of that. Oh dear. So you've been really, really stressed out about this. I can tell. It's I understand, like, when you stress about tests and things like that, you've been laying awake, insomnia type of inducing situations, stressing about this whole situation that's just been bumming you out. I do see a lot of fire energy, so that's a good sign. It's like you're really embracing who you are, and just have more faith in yourself. Trust yourself a little more. You need to cut yourself some slack. You also have the Fool, which is about that childlike innocence, that childlike sense of wonder. And when you're stressing out like this, it's great to remember, like, you know, when you were a child, you weren't stressed out about anything. You just did things. So this card just calls you back to get in touch with your inner child again, to take a leap of faith, to trust yourself, okay? Trust your knowledge. If you put in the work, I can guarantee you that you're going to see the results. Oh, gosh. Okay. But I will pull your Oracle card. Or two. Let's see. You have Meditation for Peace and Serenity. So this card really talks about calming your mind and your emotions. Just have things slow down so that you can just take a breath. That can also be like if you need little breaks, you know, in between the time that you might be studying or anything or working on something. Just take that time to just bring yourself back and center yourself and ground yourself. And just have a lot more faith in who you are. And also affirmation for healing the heart, which is great because you have this card. Like these two cards have been linked to make an appearance today. It's a very general energy in the collective here. So I really see you guys needing to heal that heart, okay? So just when you heal your heart and just focus on who you are, things will be okay. Like I just feel like a lot of you are like, is things gonna be okay? Yes, things are gonna be just fine. It's gonna work out just fine. Things are gonna work out great, okay? The waters on the horizon is it's clear. The storm has calmed. A lot of you have been worried over very trivial things or worried over nothing. There's no reason to worry. Just trust in yourself and trust in your own capabilities. Know your capabilities as well and know your worth. If you are doing something that you're not capable of, that's okay. Sometimes it'll require a little bit more effort if you want to make it work. I know a lot of times when we do study and things, we are required to do things that we might not always be capable of. But you'll get through it and it will be okay. It will work out. Let's just put it like that. It will work out. Okay. Finally, the coffee is done. Okay, so I also see you guys. There's a lot about community here. A lot of you guys are scared to reach out when you need help. And that's okay, because we just need to make connection, to make community. And this will lead, you know, to justice being served, balance, and especially financial balance and balance within our spiritual knowledge and our physical knowledge. I see a lot of knowledge expansion. And at the end of the day, knowledge is a better currency than money because it's the only thing that your brain won't regret. It's the only thing that, you know, when you're old, you're going to be like, you're either going to worry about you not having enough money, you're going to think about all the weird, wrong ways that you might have spent your money. But knowledge is the only thing you'll never regret it. Even if you know some pointless bits of information, it's something that you'll never regret. Your brain will never regret obtaining knowledge. So never be afraid to just learn new things. Be open to learning new things. That's all. So a lot of people like block themselves when learning new things. They're like, okay, but I already know this, or I know this way, not that way, and so your way has to be wrong. Just to be a little bit more open-minded, because if you believe something and someone else is doing the thing a different way, perhaps just see if you can learn something from that. If you can't, you can just move on. But you can just go let that information like go if it doesn't serve you. If there's something you can take away from that, why not? Expand your knowledge. I see a lot of that. And also a lot of like people getting their justice. This is about karma and just things working out like they're supposed to. This is the ultimate card about universal justice, so I really feel like there's gonna be that balance, and a lot of you guys will find your community. You'll find your groove. You'll get into that flow. I'm really seeing that flow, that exchange, okay? So you're gonna have a lot of people that you can exchange your knowledge with, that you can have energetical exchanges with, that will really help you on your path and help you find balance in your life. And it will really help you to have that sense of justice as well. Load shedding. Yeah. All of this power going off all the time is, it's really bad. But take care when you do leave, Milo. You'll be okay. Also, we have the Six of Wands here, which talks about being on a stage, being seen, being admired. So it also talks about, you know, just being the main character of your story, embracing your inner power, embracing who you are. And it's just a very powerful energy. Like someday people will look up to all of the things you've accomplished. Sometimes it won't even feel like that. It won't feel like people are looking up to you. But people will look up to you. And you will also see a lot of new horizons, calmer horizons. I just feel like a lot of you will, you know, the skies will clear and things will just be more calm. That's what I'm sensing there. Okay, so if there's anyone who wants another reading, you guys can hop in there. Otherwise, I might just almost end the live, so if anyone wants the last reading, just let me know. I really hope I got to everyone. Okay. I'm just gonna check something here. Okay. So if everyone has had their readings, I think I'm going to end the live now. I really hope everyone has a great day further, and hopefully everyone has got the guidance they needed today. So I bid you all a farewell, and much love and blessings to everyone.